It's not how I wanted to be starting my Wednesday morning. Press the top floor! I'm tired. Oh, that's my alarm! I shouldn't be dressed by this point. I should be scrambling and naked. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to a standard Wednesday morning. I woke up yesterday at about 7:30. I like to go down to the bakery, get myself a little coffee, all that kind of stuff, and Mauricio Pochettino was still the Spurs manager when I did that yesterday. They'd still be happy with like mediocrity. They wouldn't win many trophies, or any trophies for that matter, and everything's okay. You know, Tottenham are still Tottenham. They're still our biggest rivals. It's fine. I wake up this morning and Mauricio Pochettino is no longer Tottenham's manager because Jose Mourinho is, quite frankly, ridiculous. So I'm going to give my thoughts on it. A lot of people have said to me, does this mean that Mourinho's legacy as Chelsea's greatest ever manager, does it mean that we've lost all of that love for him? Does it mean now that Roberto Di Matteo or Ancelotti or Gus Hiddink is the most Chelsea manager that we've ever had? The good news is we've got the club's greatest ever player as our current manager, so this does hurt. Let's be honest, he's gone to manage the biggest rival that we have. I'm looking right now at the Emirates Stadium, I can see it. Behind some of these buildings is Spurs' brand new stadium. There's a brand new development, a brand new project, and even though they don't have that trophy, they have just employed a man whose greatest achievement in his life is his ability to win trophies. Even at Manchester United, you know, Carabao Cup, ticked it off. Finishing second in the league that season was arguably the same as winning a trophy with that Manchester United team. Whether you still think Mourinho is a good manager or not, the question has been up for debate for some time. The man is a serial winner. So as a Chelsea fan who just loves to banter with Spurs about the fact that they don't win anything, yet they're still so happy and Pochettino is their greatest manager, I have a funny feeling that might change under Mourinho because he just knows what to do. He knows how to win. So how do I feel about this? As I've already said to you, it's quite obvious. I've made the effort to come up here during this wonderful sunrise and announce this on the video for you, but quite frankly, I'm not that surprised. You know why? Let me get out my phone, because me and football kind of go hand in hand, or I'm kind of like the tennis ball to the tennis racket kind of thing when it comes to football. I decided in October, back in the start of October should I say, to come out with a bold statement on Twitter. I'm very sure Chelsea and Frank Lampard will be facing off against Jose Mourinho in December. It'll either be Everton away early December or Spurs away just before Christmas. I think by then he will be managing one of those two clubs. Now, as we know, and we stand here now at 7:34 on a Wednesday morning, which by the way, just take in the scenery for a moment. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. Jose Mourinho is already Spurs' manager. Mourinho, he likes to have assurances when he takes a job. Mourinho works best when he's got a transfer budget, when he knows that money can be spent in order to build a team that he considers to be one that can challenge to win titles. The fact that within 24 hours, or not even 24 hours, it was more of like a 12 hours or just over 12 hours, Spurs have managed to sack Pochettino and announce Mourinho as their manager. So this tells me that it's been in the pipeline for quite some time. It's been something where discussions behind the scenes were already happening, which, considering how great of a manager Pochettino supposedly is, and I'll be completely honest, banter aside here between the two clubs, Pochettino's done a very good job at Tottenham. He's taken them from a team outside of the top 6 to a Champions League final. Within 5 months, he's lost his job, and the way it's kind of been dealt with publicly, I'd say doesn't do him any justice whatsoever. The fact that they've so soon after announced Mourinho and come out and said he's this world-class manager. Well, surely, if you've stuck with Pochettino for that long, despite not winning a trophy and making that much progress, brand new stadium, Champions League final, as we said, like, it's one of those things where it's a bit disrespectful to the manager before, in my humble opinion. But Spurs have got themselves a man who, as I've said, he knows how to win trophies. Does it ever remove what he's done with Chelsea? We've got 3 Premier League titles. We've got kind of the start of this era. He was the man who came in to make sure that the Roman Abramovich money, we saw immediate returns on that investment. For what Mourinho's done in Chelsea's history, he will always be adored by the fan base. But right now, it is impossible to ever show public love for the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. I'm a Chelsea fan who hates Spurs because that's just the way it is, and that's just how football works. Rivalries come in, and it is what makes it exciting. It's like making a steak and then putting a bit of pepper on top, cooking a chicken and then putting jerk seasoning on top. It's just the way it goes. It goes hand in hand. So now that Mourinho is the manager of Spurs, I'm not going to sit here and say to you, well, I hate him now and I absolutely despise the bloke, because he has been responsible for individual moments of happiness in my life, for my football club and our football club. I'm not going to forget that, but at least for now, until he's sacked, which who knows, it might all go tits up for Mourinho at Tottenham Hotspur. For now, I can admire what he's done in the past, but to go to Man United, it was kind of like you lose a small percentage of that adoration and that love and that hero-like status at Chelsea. To go to Spurs, it's almost self-sabotage for his, what's the right word for it? It's 7:30 in the morning. Help me out in the comment section down below.
Persona.
Persona. No,
his
not
status.
persona. His status, yeah, but like his credentials as Chelsea's like hero of our time. Like, he's lost that now. He's gone to Tottenham Hotspur. And let's just talk about what this does for the Premier League. We're talking about Spurs being in 14th. When Mourinho left Chelsea, we were lower than that in the table. But there's absolutely no way Mourinho's going to be appointed without assurances of spending money. So come January, expect Spurs to strengthen, maybe expect a few players to leave. People are also talking about Pochettino and Harry Kane being Manchester United players by the start of next season. So one of Mourinho's biggest jobs is going to be to get the players like Christian Eriksen, who's wanted to leave, he's flirted with leaving the club, he almost did leave the club. Getting players like him and Harry Kane back on side, who are arguably Spurs' key players, is going to be key for Mourinho. And I think that in the remit that he's been given by Daniel Levy, there will definitely be some element of one of your main priorities is to get the key players back on side that clearly weren't playing so well for Pochettino, to get these players playing again and to bring Spurs back into the table. And if you look at the table as it is right now, you could say a bit of Mourinho magic would be to get Spurs into a top 4 position come May. I'm not going to look at this Mourinho coming into Tottenham thing as like, oh, Spurs are immediately going to be back. I think there's definitely a rebuild that needs to be done there at that club. And Mourinho, as a manager, a lot of people have thought that he's kind of lost it. But one thing you can never do in football when you've got a brain that works the way Mourinho's does is totally lose it. You could have outdated methods, you can have outdated ways of approaching the game that get found out by managers like Pep Guardiola, who's come back to the Premier League, Jurgen Klopp. To an extent, you could also say Maurizio Sarri and Antonio Conte kind of undermined Mourinho's managing. The man, as I said, and this is the fundamentals of this video, he's a serial winner, and he probably will win stuff with Spurs. So whilst we can, Chelsea fans, we might as well just keep on fueling that rivalry a little bit more. Keep reminding Spurs that they haven't won any trophies despite Pochettino being their so-called most successful manager. And even in the time that Pochettino was Tottenham manager in the Premier League, Chelsea still managed to get more points than they did. So in terms of getting Spurs into this conversation of being like an elite club, Mourinho has got probably the toughest job of his managerial career. But anyway, I'm not gonna lie, it is flipping freezing here. We were gonna put this like chair up and I was gonna sit and do all this stuff, but Lawrence has decided to film it for me handheld because he fell asleep on my sofa last night. So thank you very much for that, mate. The sun has risen. London has a new football manager at one of its football clubs. It is Wednesday, the second week of an international break, and boy, this has made a massive difference to my excitement. The Premier League is well and truly back now. This weekend Spurs will be playing. We're doing my Premier League predictions. We'll go through what I think is going to happen. Chelsea preview coming out as well, but as a Chelsea fan, seeing Mourinho as Tottenham manager, it doesn't remove what he's done for us in the past. I can still accept that. But right now, there's no way I can love that man the same way I did before he signed a flipping contract at Tottenham Hotspur. When Mourinho came in 2004, I was like, what, 10 years old? Now I'm 25, living in Londres, the capital of England. Times change, but anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. It's flipping freezing. I'm gonna go in, probably go to the bakery, do my usual routine. We can forget about it now, we've just got to work with it. Spurs, Mourinho, it is now a partnership. It's now like a marriage of like your best mate's ex-girlfriend who cheated on him. Is that a good explanation?
Great analogy.
There we go. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the George Benson football channel if you haven't already. I make new videos about Chelsea every single day. I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.